think think we good. Let me hit this.
Yeah.
Think we good. Yeah. 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 Let's start this one right, y'all. What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's good, y'all? What's great? Thank y'all for tuning in to another episode of Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Lovechild. I'm joined with my guest host, my brother, one of my good friends, Jokey from Jokey Entertainment. Thank you for tapping in with your boy.
Thank you.
Appreciate you, my brother. Appreciate you as always. Yo, we got a great, dope show, y'all. So I hope y'all prepared. I hope y'all ready. Jokey, again, tell them real quick where they can find you real quick so they can tap in real quick.
You can find me Jokey ENT on Instagram. That's about it.
All right. I appreciate it. Yo, this brother got a lot of knowledge, and yo, yeah, he's been here before, and y'all enjoyed him before. I seen the comments that y'all left, and so we're gonna continue to give y'all this great energy. So let's get it. Oh, shout out to one of our day ones already in the building, King Prince, for the gifted. Thank you. We appreciate you as always. Appreciate you contributing to the show, the growth of the show. Always one of our day ones showing some major love. Shout out to Ebony Fife in the building. Appreciate you for tapping in. And yo, let's have some fun, y'all. And let's get started. First segment of the night, popular opinions. Y'all already know this segment is brought to you by OUV Records. Y'all see it, yeah. Make sure y'all go to Instagram right now at OUV Records and stay in tune to the latest music and merchandise. The label motto is create, document, and inspire. All right, y'all. First question of the night. And remember, y'all, these are the world's questions. These are not our questions. So stick to the answers in the questions. I always have to say that, especially for the rewatch, because like our live viewers get that, but in the rewatch, if we don't say that in the rewatch, they come up with all these off the wall answers, and we're like, it wasn't in the question. So I always have to say that for the. All right, y'all. First question of the night for popular opinions. If you was putting together a movie if you was putting together a movie, which one would it be on this list? If you was putting together a movie, which one would it be on this list? Number one, comedy, Cat Williams, Taraji P. Henson. Number two, action, Amari Hardrick, Regina King. Number three, drama, Denzel Washington and Nicole Ari Parker. Number four, horror, Mackay Pfeiffer, Angela Bassett. And again, let us know what y'all think in the chat.
Damn, that's a tough one.
Yeah. Like all these choices is legit choices. Like I'm gonna just keep it a bean right here. Like this one was actually tough for me as I'm looking at it. I'll give you my answer first. I'll give you my answer first on this one. Um, I think personally, I think a better movie at this point in time right now would be the action movie with Amari Hardwick or Hardwick. I always mess his name up. Amari Hardwick and Regina King.
I'll go with Denzel.
In Nicole Ari Parker.
Yeah.
Okay.
You can't go wrong with Denzel.
Yeah, you can't. His latest kind of spicy, but you can't go wrong. With the whole Gladiator movie.
Oh, I didn't like that movie at all. But his performance was okay, but I just didn't like the movie. I didn't like. Yeah.
I still didn't see it yet. I need to go see this movie because I'm hearing mixed reviews. Some people said it was good. I ain't gonna lie. Majority of people that seen it said it was ass. Majority of people said
It wasn't good in my opinion, but I mean, I wouldn't pay to go see it. I'd try to stream.
It's a streaming? Oh man. Oh man. I might
I
not
wouldn't advise somebody to pay to go see that. Gladiator. It's a big disappointment compared to the first one.
Yeah.
Nah.
And the reason why I was so on hold on seeing this movie because when the first Gladiator came out, I seen it on DVD. I wasn't at theaters, and seeing it on DVD is excellent. But I can't imagine how you remember how good the first one was, but seeing
Yeah.
it, Oh my God, that's a whole nother.
And the problem is he never matched up to the first. Like once you seen the first Gladiator, he looked like a super generic version to that. You know,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
mm,
I think I might wait to stream it, but that's why I was so gun hold on seeing this one because the first one I didn't see in theaters. You know what I mean? So I was like, damn,
mhm,
such a good movie. It would even hit me different in the, in theaters, watching that first one. So all right, so
mhm.
my brother went with three with drama, Denzel Washington and Nicole Ari Parker. Me personally, I went with action. I went with action with
Mhm.
Amari
Mhm.
Hardrick and Regina King. The rest of the world at 38% chose comedy with Cat Williams and Taraji P. Henson. What do you think about that?
That's a good choice too. I mean, I was to me it was between one and three. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying? And I
yeah,
like Regina King, but I'm not really a big time Amari Harwood fan. He was only good in Power to me. I didn't like none of his other. I didn't like a lot of movies he played except for Power.
yeah. I mean, I don't think he really had a lot of major roles as far as leading
Mhm.
roles outside of Power. Like the only one I could really think of for real. I didn't see the Disney film where he's like a football player and
Mhm.
the daughter's controlling him like in a Madden game or something like that.
Mhm. I saw that. Yeah.
But I did see the with him. I forget the super chocolatey chick and what's this? And Tiffany Haddish.
Mhm.
That one was pretty good. He did a good role in that. But a lot of his movies, he always played like the background role or a lot of like independent.
Mhm.
You know.
Mhm.
But I ain't gonna hold you. He killed it to me in Next Day Air. I don't know if you remember Next Day Air.
I've seen it.
Yeah.
I mean, he's all right. I mean, compared to everyone else,
Hmm.
one yeah.
Okay. 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 All right. So, but they went with Cat Williams and Taraji P Henson for at 38.
Mhm.
All right. Moving on to our next popular opinion question, y'all. And again, remember, stick to the answers into the questions, y'all. No freestyling. If you were starting a record label all time, which artists which artists are you going with on this list? Number one, Tupac, Kanye West, and Mariah Carey. Number two, Biggie Smalls. Biggie Smalls, Jermaine Dupri, Lauryn Hill. Number three, 50 Cent, Justin Timberlake, and Whitney Houston. So it came down to those three.
Yeah, nah, I picked number one.
Number one, why number one?
Work ethic. I think they work ethics a little bit.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
Mhm.
Anything from a style perspective either, or just it's just
I
feel.
think they're all talented. All of them style wise is great. You know, they all great artists. But
Mhm.
number one is you ain't gotta drag them to the studio. They gonna,
Facts,
you
facts, big facts,
know.
big facts. Yeah, big facts. All right. So, bro, with number one with Tupac, Kanye, and Mariah. Uh, I know for a fact Tupac and Kanye, they not
Yeah,
leaving the studio.
yeah.
Mariah, I don't know about Mariah's work ethic, but I can tell you one thing: her booth is going to be scented, it's going to be dark, it's going to be very moody. So I can
And
tell you
Team Gemini, Kanye and Tupac, Team Gemini.
that. All right, so for me, I'm going with Team Three. I'm going with Team Three. I'm going with 50 Cent,
Mhm.
Timberland, and Whitney Houston. I just think that's a crazy fire combination. 50 Cent, he's like me. He's my cancer twin, a workaholic, and
Yeah,
one thing people don't give 50 credit for is having the ability to make great songs, not just
yeah.
great raps. He makes
But do
great.
you think he'll fit with Timberland, ego wise?
Well, the main thing is the fact that Timberland is not leaving until he give you a hit. He's going to give you hits, and it's going to be a little different. They don't necessarily have to always work together. This is just the foundation of your label. So, regardless who I surround them with, right? We're gonna have beats. Got 50, he gonna have songs. We got Whitney,
Mhm.
got vocal greatness. That's
Yeah, she is great.
that's for me. You know what I mean?
Mhm,
Like Whitney to me, vocal greatness. I'm not crazy
mhm,
about Whitney's songs, but her vocals has always been greatness. You know what I'm saying? So
mhm, mhm,
and I'm not saying that Whitney don't got fire songs, but
mhm,
I'd rather listen to Mariah. I'd rather listen to Mary J. You know what I'm saying? Because it's
mhm,
songs. But
mhm,
Whitney's vocals,
mhm,
you know what I'm saying? Whitney's vocals tell a story by itself.
mhm, mhm,
So
mhm.
I'm going with Whitney. I'm going
I
with
agree.
so I went with team three. You went with team one.
Mhm.
The rest of the world at 39%, 39% went with team two with Biggie, Jermaine Dupri, and Lauryn Hill. What do you think about that?
Eh, I don't know. I still say 1 or 3 would have been better.
See,
But Lauren,
those
Lauren Hill disappeared.
that,
She was just,
that
you was gonna say the same thing. Yeah, man.
that's the only thing too. Like, don't kill me, y'all. But Lauryn Hill
Mhm,
is so talented, vocal,
mhm,
rap wise, substance. Which that's not even the debate.
mhm,
The worth ethic, like
mhm. She a Gemini too, but
we're gonna have to. I'm gonna have to drag her. Like Lauren, like give me something, baby. Like
yeah, man.
I feel like she gonna get to the studio and give me the pootie tang, like just a whole bunch of nothing. Be like, yo, what's that? Like I'm expecting you to work. She giving me the pootie tang.
Mm.
You know what I'm saying?
She look she looked like she trying to discover life, not music. Like she try it sounds like she trying to be at peace more than she trying to be an artist, in my opinion.
Yeah, I can respect that. I can respect
Yeah,
talking about me putting my money up. I
yeah,
know I know what she
yeah,
is amazing,
yeah,
but we're talking about if I'm starting a label foundationally wise, I'm
yeah,
expect, I'm expecting some work. I'm not expecting you to go find yourself. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So
yeah.
you
I
know,
want you to lock yourself in the studio. That's why I picked #1. Though Kanye and Tupac, we know they're gonna lock themselves in the studio. Everybody else, well, Timberland will.
mm-hmm,
I don't know if 50. I don't think 50 can because he a businessman. He all over the place. But a lot of artists come in at time to time. But
but when we're talking about 50, the artist 50, not the mogul
mhm,
50, 50 the artist was
mhm.
making songs. And like people gotta remember, like 50 didn't come out when he came out, which was like 2002, 2003. 50 came out like in the late 90s, I would say even the mid.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
and his work ethic, he had them mixtapes. I remember that time when he had
yeah. He went platinum with them things too. He
yeah,
sold like a million, maybe. But let me say something. We talking about 50 then, not 50 now.
correct, correct. This
Oh, okay, okay. Then that's different. That's different.
okay,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
So for me, I'm going with 50 all time with just
Mhm,
I keep saying Justin Timberlake with Timberland.
mhm.
So that's what I'm gonna roll with. But it was very close. This was a very close one right here. All right, moving on to our next segment, y'all. Hollywood Need to Ask Us. Came up with this segment because we getting a whole bunch of movies to Hollywood that we didn't even ask for. Thus, that's what we just talked about. Gladiator 2. Nobody asked for Gladiator 2 because the Gladiator 1 was so legendary. So we got better ideas, whether it's a movie or a series. So for this, Hollywood Need to Ask Us, I want to see Hollywood make a true 10 series, 50 minutes apiece, the real story of the No Limit Soldier record biopic. How it
Mm,
together, the height, the fall, and then the reality.
mm,
Like the first time I've ever heard of Master P is when I went to my cousin's house in Richmond, Virginia. Mind you, I was probably like 12. And at that time, I'm listening to who I'm listening to, which is, the bad boys, the West Coast crew. Like that's what I'm listening to, at that time.
mhm,
anybody from New York and anybody from Cali, right? So when I went
Mhm.
to Richmond, my cousin wasn't on that, mind you. My cousin, my age, he like, yo, you ever heard of Master P, the ice cream man? And he threw it,
Mhm.
and I'm like, yo, bro, this is boo boo trash, bro. Like, turn this on,
Mhm.
right? But then he
Mhm.
playing other songs, and I'm like, that song is alright. That song,
Mhm.
that song is alright. Like, yo, this one is hard. And then
Mhm.
not too much longer later, Make Us Say came out, and then that
Mhm.
made me like a fan of Master P. And then now,
Mhm.
just him as an artist, he had a whole slew of artists that he was
Mhm.
putting on, and it became a
Mhm.
movement. And not just from a music standpoint, Master P is so invaluable to hip hop in itself
Mhm.
because of the impact of the music was able to drive business.
Mhm. And he's a black businessman. Like you've seen it face. He's one of the first.
Yeah, yeah. And then I went, and then
Mhm.
his music he turned into movies. He was bringing out movies with,
Mhm. Mhm.
which I seen Rockefeller do that first, but Master P did it as well. But
Mhm.
he kept doing it and kept doing it.
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
The standard songs. He was dropping 2 album CDs on a one album on a
Mhm.
date. So it didn't matter every song hit. It mattered that if he had a few joints, he could.
Mhm.
They will sell. They do shows, merchandise,
Mhm.
good movies. Now we could turn it into big movies, and now we could turn it into this over here. So people,
Mhm.
as when artists were signing with him, that he made sure that they got them a house. He
Mhm. A mansion, yeah.
got them a Rolex. He got
Yeah.
a chain, which was like big things at the time.
Yeah,
Getting
yeah, yeah.
Rolex.
He took care of his people, gave all his boys $1 million. Yeah.
Yeah, yes, yes.
Yeah.
So
Mhm.
it was a package of what you received
Mhm.
with No Limit and moving forward. They had their own movies, No Limit movies, and
Right.
so it was just so much impact that Master P has given to hip hop that can't go unnoticed. And I feel like his contribution has been unnoticed for a little while, in my opinion.
Yeah, music wise, definitely.
So
Business wise as well too. It's good to see men come from nothing and make it. Like him, Dame Dash, people like that. Even Jay-Z. Like people come from humble beginnings and wind up being billionaires and millionaires. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Even 50 Cent. Yeah.
yeah. And see, somebody gave him a piece of advice that he was like, I need to get in touch with Michael Jackson's lawyer. He,
Right.
he paid thousands of dollars just to have a meeting with Michael Jackson's lawyer, and Michael Jackson's lawyer gave him like a blueprint. He's like, yo, this is what you need to do, and turn that apart to what he already had going on, and just combined it and turned it into something that hip hop, real talk, has never seen before, and
Yeah.
it taught us how to do business, not
Mm-hmm.
but learning how to because at that time CDs was big, and if you got a split on your CDs, that's a whole nother level when you could make 10
Mm-hmm.
12 $10 $12 per CD. You ship
The
it
only, the only thing with a lot of these dudes now though, like I would love to see how they handle debt over the years.
mm,
Because a lot of them look like they be struggling now with, what I'm saying, because even being rich, you have to live with debt. And
yes.
as you get older, that debt be weighing on you and you start seeing it. Like even with Dame Dash and Master P, they went through, you seen the thing with him and his son, and
Mhm.
you seen even with Dame Dash now, like living with debt over the because you have I mean, most rich people are in debt.
Right.
But how do you live with it over the years? You know what I'm saying? It looks like it weighs on them after a while.
Yeah, yeah. But see, most people don't realize how to maneuver their cash. So when you
Mm-hmm.
actually learn how to build debt through your cash, so that way you can keep your cash
Mm-hmm.
and use your debt to open up other businesses without
Mm-hmm.
having to use your cash. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
And knowing when to pull out, because you might be investing in something that's doing good now, But 10 years later, it could fizzle, and now you lost everything keeping it too long. You know what I'm saying?
Right. But see,
Mm-hmm.
I look at Master P. Anything that he did with music,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it all hit. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
when he started getting into the clothing
Mm-hmm.
type of thing or whatever, it
Mm-hmm.
I think it changed some things for him a little bit because he really heavily, divested into the clothing, which in New York City we didn't rock Master P wear, but I'm pretty sure
Right.
South they rock Master P wear.
Yeah. Yeah.
Just like with us being in the city, we rocked Rockaware, we rocked Sean
Yeah.
John. So
Yeah.
I'm pretty
We
sure.
didn't really wear G Unit wear, but that it did very well overseas. Like
Right,
just because we didn't wear it don't mean it didn't do well either though. You know what I'm saying? Like
right,
shirts, t-shirts and stuff like that and sneakers sell everywhere. You know what I'm saying? So
right, right. But that's the point that I'm making. He was so successful. So when you're so
mhm.
successful, at some point you're going to find or do business that's not going to always work out. And
Right, right.
that's the piece. Business model worked for a period of time because it followed a certain type of brand that he
I
built for
agree.
himself. But it also could have backfired when every artist you sign, they get a fire chain, a Rolex, a house,
Mm-hmm.
$1 million in what
Mm-hmm.
package that he had for them. And
Mm-hmm.
like, masterpiece artists. I mean, Mystical was probably
Mm-hmm.
an artist. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
Shaka, some people didn't like him, but he still managed to turn a profit. You see what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Mia X managed to turn a profit. Now he has
Right.
several artists that it looked good that he has artists, but I don't think
Mm-hmm.
turned a profit.
I think
So
a lot of people don't understand that just because you're labeled a millionaire doesn't mean you have millions. Like a lot of them are millions of dollars in debt as well. You just learn how to manage debt, like they know how to manage debt.
yeah,
You know what I'm
yes,
saying?
yeah. But I think the movie would be very educational, or they can make it
Mm-hmm.
somewhat like how they did the NWA movie, but instead of having
Mm-hmm.
make this a series so that way people could be more invested into the story and its
Mm-hmm.
artists and everything with that. So I
Master P had an interesting life. I think he played basketball too. He almost made the NBA. Like he had an interesting life.
go and he was out there hooping. Like I
Roy
seen
Jones wanted to beat him up at one time. He has an interesting story. There's a lot of spins in this story that definitely would be watchable as far as movies and series. Yeah, definitely.
yeah, yeah. So I would love to see that. So that's what I want to see. Hollywood need to ask us and make a 10 series story about the No Limit Soldiers or No Limit Records, I should say. So that's what I would love to see. All
Hmm.
right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment, and then remember again, y'all, to tap into our membership portion of the page. We have different memberships, different access, whole bunch of videos. We got a couple different podcasts on this channel, and just a slew of different interesting things to tap into for the channel. So make sure y'all tap into the membership portion in the page. The links is in the bio. All right, moving on to our must see segment: must see, must hear, must watch, or classic TV show. So, my first must see movie for the night is called Taxman. This movie came out in 1998, directed by A.V. Nusser. This stars Wade Dominguez, Michael Keelis, Elizabeth Berkley, Joe Patino, Robert Robert Townsend, and Fisher Stevens. This movie is so dope. This movie is about a New York City tax investigator. He teams up with a police officer to investigate all the different type of mysterious crimes that's going on. I'm not going to ruin it for you, so make sure y'all tap into the rest of the movie. Again, it's called Taxman. Next must see movie, y'all. Must see. Came out in 1995, directed by Carl Franklin. Carl Franklin has done other movies such as Out of Time, and High Crimes. This movie is called Devil in a Blue Dress. This movie
Yes,
is fire. One of my favorite Denzel movies. This stars Denzel
sir.
Washington, Don Cheadle, Jennifer Beals, Tom Sizemore, Lisa Nicole Carson. fire movie about a man that basically came home from the war, got his new home, and he's looking to find ways to make money. And there's a woman that has a blue dress, and you have to see the rest of the movie. I won't ruin it for you, so make sure you tap into Devil in the Blue Dress. My third and final movie that you must see, y'all, came out in 2000, directed by Todd Phillips. He's done movies such as War Dogs and Old School. Yeah, I guessed it. It's a comedy. This movie is called Road Trip. This stars Sean William Scott, Amy Smart, Birkin Meyer, Tom Green, and DJ Quells. This movie is about a young man that's away at school. He's missing his girlfriend, and he decides to send her like this video message trying to be romantic, but he ends up smashing another girl on campus on tape. And you have to see the rest of the movie. I won't ruin it for you, so make sure you tap into Road Trip. So my three movies you must see, y'all, again, is Road Trip, Devil in the Blue Dress, and Taxman. Guarantee good time. I guarantee it. All right, moving on to our must hear segment. Uh, I got a group. This is an R&B group that y'all must hear. They classic, fire music, and they so underrated. Tap into the group called Jade. The group called Jade R&B
Fire.
group. First must have on your playlist from Jade is 5432. Your time is up. Second must have, Don't Walk Away. Third must have, I Wanna Love You. So again, the group is called Jade R&B fire group, y'all.
I concur. Jay was fire.
Jade was fire, y'all. I'm telling you, beautiful, and they was beautiful. Um,
Mm,
and I Wanna Love You, Don't Walk Away, and
mm.
532. Your time is up. All right, moving on to our classic show or must see classic show or must see show. This was called Touching Evil. Came out in 1997. Three seasons. It stars Nicole Walker, Robertson Green, Sean Dingwall, Michael Fierce, and Sasusi Downs. Dope fire show. I don't even want to ruin it for y'all. Just tap in. This is one of the shows. If I give it, I give it. If I tell y'all, it's gonna ruin it. So make sure y'all just tap into Touching Evil. Moving on to our next segment. You already know what time it is. It's time to rap. This segment is brought to you by Button Snaps, where you get classic movies, shows, documentaries, and original content. Give you a pleasure of $4.99. Again, Button Snaps. Before I go on, what do you think about the movies that I named and the song?
I only seen Devil in the Blue Dress out of all of them. I only seen Devil in the Blue Dress, but that was good.
Yeah,
I watched that off. I watched that a lot.
yeah. And Jade, come on, Jade is can't
Yeah,
miss.
yeah.
Jade is popping.
We grew up with that music, so
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Yeah.
Shout out to Biggs in the building. Shout out to JP. Shout out to Jeff in the building. Shout out to JoJo in the building. Appreciate y'all for tapping in. All right, so our first hot topic of the night. I just want to start off by saying to the Ohio State Buccaneers that it's very, it's very important. Ohio State Buccaneers is very important. I say this with all sincerity. Y'all need to keep your coach, Ryan Day. Okay. Y'all need to keep him around. Okay. Because no matter what y'all do, my Michigan is going to continue to cook. As I told y'all, y'all thought I was playing. We
You
put
did call
belt
that
to
though.
ass.
You did call
We were
it.
6-5. Our two best players sat out because they want to worry about the draft. We have no quarterback, no receivers, no disrespect, fellas. No disrespect. And we still put belt to ass. The score wasn't even indicative of the game. So, you people from Ohio, that team you call What is a Buckeye anyway? Keep your coach. All right, keep your coach. So I enjoy that hot L we gave y'all and move on. And then want to fight after the game like y'all didn't have.
Yeah, they was tight. They was tight.
But I told y'all.
Yeah, you did call it. I didn't see them winning, but that was a good call.
Because see, when I look at football, and I grew up, I grew up playing football. I played college football, but it's about styles, right? So guys, they play more finesse game. Now I'm gonna keep. We don't have their athletes on the outside. I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. But they mess up. We're more physical than they are.
I see. They I see.
And then on top of that, they have a quarterback. See, when I judge quarterbacks real different. So Will Howard, he came from Kansas State. Kansas State they play in the Big 12. They play Big 12 is a solid.
Yeah, I was gonna say they're a solid team, yeah.
But he's not the guy to win big games, as y'all can see. He has a hitch on top of that. So and he threw 2 picks. Try to run the ball and moving on to the next hot topic. All right, y'all. So the Chicago Bears have fired Matt Eberflus. I know I probably tore his name up. After going 14-32. What do you think they should go from here? What do you think they should do next after firing their coach?
They have a nice squad. They lose a lot of close games. A lot of their games they lost was close. They have a good squad. They're young, they're young. I don't think the coach was. I mean the timeout situation, but I mean some owners want you to produce now. Like you have talent and you losing you losing for dumb reasons. It was coaching.
Yeah.
You can't even. I'll picture if the team let him down, but he lost because of coaching. So yeah, he's not doing his job.
Yeah, I mean, but it's not like 14-32. That's a lot of games.
Yeah, but they last 3-4 games they lost. Like they was in the game,
right?
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like that team has something. Like they're not. They're them and the Bengals. Their talent don't reflect their wins and losses. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. They have a young quarterback. So I will be mindful for their next coach. Their next head coach has to be somebody that knows how to deal with a young quarterback. Because moving forward, y'all, when you have a young quarterback, y'all mortgaging y'all future.
Yeah, but he moved the football, and they got a good running game. Swift is nice, and they got a nice young defense. They move the football. They be losing for stupid mistakes like the last game. Stupid mistakes, and they keep losing like that.
So
one game they lost to a Hail Mary. Remember they played Washington, they lost to a Hail Mary.
It's like
they lose.
When you lose like that for real, lack of discipline on every side of in practice, they not going as hard as they supposed to. In meetings, they not paying attention to detail because you don't lose like that. Not coaching, not just from a coaching aspect, but when you feel like you have a coach that's incompetent, then you're not putting your all into practice. You're not preparation. So the old saying is hard work meets opportunity. Right. So if they not getting the edge out, is because they not going all the way they supposed to. They have the talent,
and they playing hard. They in the game. Like they lose the same way over and over again. Something got to give. Like you're not learning your lessons, so something got to get shooken up. Like if I was the owner, I'd have did the same thing.
But that's a part of the lack of discipline. Like for example, when you look at
they're young.
But nah, they got enough veterans to be disciplined. They're veteran, and then mind you, when you look at the Lions, right? The
Right.
last years was terrible, but they kept their coach because of the attention to detail. They looked different. They was building a culture.
But
Now,
see, that's not fair because the Lions, that team been together for like 3 years now.
no, but the coach has been there longer than that.
I know, but that team that they put together, this team that they got now with golf and all, they've been there for like three. I mean, they're coming into fruition. They went to the Super Bowl, or you know what I'm saying? They're already a Super Bowl. You understand? They have all the pieces now. The
No,
chemistry's there. They've been. It take like 2-3 years to get it gelling. They just got this quarterback. He a rookie for Chicago. Give him time. That team plays well. They just be losing in close games. That's all.
no, but the point that I'm making, remember,
Mhm.
the Lions was losing close games, right?
Remember Detroit? Same thing. You're right.
Right.
You're right.
You- So the difference,
Mhm.
the culture was being built. They not
Mhm.
a guy to bring on culture. They bring in a guy to win games. And if you want to have a successful franchise, it's not going to work because you're not bringing in the guy that's going to bring in culture. You're bringing the guy to win in some games. And this is what you got 14 and 32. So to me, their next move has to be a guy that has to be able to coach a quarterback because the quarterback is young. And then not for
But
not
but
that
but but did they lose because of the quarterback? You know what I'm saying? Like
a part of it, yes. A part of it, yes.
think so?
A part of
I don't think.
a part. He's not playing terrible right now, but just
Mhm.
a couple weeks ago, they was asking like, "Yo, you probably need to come off the bench, bro." Like not too
Yeah.
long ago. So when you have a young guy like this, you have to have somebody that can develop the quarterback mentally, and you have to build the culture. Without the culture, the quarterback doesn't get built. Case in point,
Mhm.
Baltimore has culture. So what did Lamar Jackson turn Pat Mahomes, culture.
Mhm.
Look what he turned into.
Yeah, but the Eagles, I mean, the Ravens is stuck in the same place every year too.
But they're a team that has the ability to actually win every year. They're in the run-ins every
I
year.
mean, they win, but they get stuck at the same their second round team, and that's it. Maybe you know what I'm saying.
Well, like I said, every year is different because let's not forget Lamar Jackson was hurt one year, and they would have beat the Bengals because they almost beat the Bengals with their backup quarterback.
I
And
thought last year would have been their year, and he blew it. They
now,
always would have blown
now, but see, it's going to be rough because it's title town.
it. Mm-hmm.
KC is title town. I said it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
KC, y'all already know it's title town. So, and
Mm-hmm.
the point that I'm making is that it matters the personality of the quarterback and the culture of the team. Chicago Bears have no culture, so that's why Jared Goff could come to the Lions and build with the culture because there was culture. Even though they was losing, it was a culture that they building. Like, yo, this is what we doing. This is what we doing, and we're losing because of lack of talent, not
Mm-hmm.
lack of culture.
But they
So
had a hot young defense. They had a defense that, and they was projected to go to the playoffs that year. I remember when they first got that defense, but then
mhm,
they didn't, making them dumb mistakes. Like, Chicago reminds, like you said, that was a good analogy. Like they remind me of how Detroit was
yeah. So that's
before they.
So that's why it's important that the next coach they bring in has
Mm-hmm.
culture type of coach. He can't be a guy that's like, yeah, we want you to win some games and think you're gonna change it around. So a guy, in my opinion, or a couple guys that should be on the short list is Mike Vrabel. Um, oh, I always forget his name when I think about it. My man from the Patriots. Um,
Belichick.
Belichick. Belichick.
Mm-hmm.
uh,
Mm-hmm.
Belichick, Vrabel, and the offensive coordinator because he knows how to develop quarterbacks on the Eagles.
Mm-hmm.
The Eagles.
I
So
know you're talking about. Mm-hmm.
those three would be
Mm-hmm.
in my estimation of who I want as my next head
Mm-hmm.
coach if I'm the Chicago Bears. So,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, I mean, shout out to Lovey Smith because they haven't had a real true winning coach since Lovey Smith. Lovey Smith went
Mm-hmm.
1 in 63, 3 playoffs,
Mm-hmm.
a Super Bowl appearance. They haven't had nothing like that, nowhere near it. So, and mind you, this is the same. This is the same franchise that bypassed Lamar Jackson, that bypassed Patrick Mahomes, that
Mm-hmm.
um
Mm-hmm.
so and they chose to get guys who are no longer in the league. So it
Mm-hmm.
next coach is going to be because as talented
Mm-hmm.
Caleb is, he could be out the league.
Yeah.
He could be out the league. So we've seen other talented quarterbacks. I remember Jake Locker, first overall pick, no longer in the league. Robert Griffin, no longer in the league. Jake
Mm-hmm.
uh, Luck, no longer in the league. So
Mm-hmm.
it's going to matter. It's going to.
Yeah. Yeah.
Moving on to our next hot topic. Canadian official Doug Ford, he blasted President-elect Donald Trump in threats to impose a tariff system for Canada, uh,
Mm-hmm.
comparing Canada to Mexico. What do you
Mm-hmm.
think about that?
Um, hey, that's what people voted for, right? But tariffs, man. I mean, you go places like me, I vacation. When you vacation across the Western Hemisphere, where
Mhm.
there's tariffs, like the Bahamas, you know what I'm saying? I would say invest if I was a betting man, invest in agriculture because that's what's gonna wind up being a big issue down the road because we get a lot of agriculture from Mexico.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying? And there's we get a lot of oil and gas from Canada. So
Mhm. Yeah.
you got to expect those two things to be very high. Like I don't know, like unless I mean there's a good thing and a bad thing. You can't judge tariffs until you see what they're actually going to do because if they replace that, like say they don't charge you federal income tax and they just charge a 10% tariff on goods, I don't know.
Yeah.
That might actually work out. But then if you doing that on top, then we you know what I'm saying? It's like you pinching more money
Yeah.
that people don't got. You know what I'm saying? I think we have to wait and see. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? In my
Yeah.
opinion. I'm not even gonna judge it because I think even though I'm not a Republican, they do have good points because you have to stop the brick system. You have to make the American dollar big again.
Yeah.
And you
Yeah.
have to start investing in your own, like start being more independent, so you
Mhm.
don't be depending on these other countries. I think that's what the focus is.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, with him saying this, well, with him like feeling the type of way, goes to show the relationship that the U.S. has with Canada, and
Mm-hmm.
his main thing is to resolve the situation. He don't want to beef. He said he don't want to beef with the U.S. He don't want
Hmm.
Trump. He wants to resolve this. But
I just think they talking though. I think Trump just want to look like he's strong. I don't even think he even because you can't take what he say serious. Just like I just think he's just talking like that to make it look like I'm not playing no games. But
yeah,
I don't think he could do half the stuff he say. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be that easy.
hmm
Nothing you do is that easy. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
Just like he said, I'm gonna build the wall. I'm gonna build the wall. He never built that wall. And I'm not saying that it's because of him, but it's so hard to get these policies pushed forward. You know what I'm
hmm
saying?
hmm
Especially when you start getting problems with your plan. The unforeseen problems with your plan.
hmm I mean,
You know?
there's a lot of, I won't say a lot, but there's some things that I feel like he will do. But in this particular situation, I don't know enough about tariffs yet.
You
I'm
got to be careful because you're gonna make people like even the way he's coming at the immigrants like that. You got to be careful how you look doing certain things because you got these crazy people that you appointing that's on some real gun ho. Like you could easily be looking like a Hitler type. You see, remember the civil rights? There were certain people that be like spray the protesters, and you see how that looked on TV when they sprayed them with the water and they beat them with the batons and stuff like that.
Mhm.
Better be careful how you treat people in public where everybody can see it because people still have a human side. And even though people's like, yeah, get them out of here, get that, yo, this is not, you know, I don't know. People flip on you just like this. You better watch the way you do certain things. That's all I'm saying. It's good to be tough, but they talking a little bit too tough. Like, you understand? Like,
I mean, I kind of think a little different. Like I said, I want to do more research on the tariff system, so that way
mm-hmm,
I'm educated on the tariff system, not just for myself, but for
mm-hmm,
clients and just in general, the knowing what the financial system is going to entail and what is going to interject certain
mm-hmm.
things.
But it
Oh,
benefits the corporations at the end of the day, the government and the corporations. They're going to tax goods like straight up. Like, and but if you're going to do that, at least eliminate at least eliminate federal income tax. Don't add tariffs on top of that. You understand?
mhm.
That's what's I don't understand. Like, where are you going to eliminate federal income tax and give us tariffs, or are you just going to give us tariffs? You know what I'm saying? Because now if you're doing that, we already pinched to our penny. We got pennies in our pockets now.
Mhm. Which will be very hard to do to get rid of federal income tax. I mean, just the system of itself
Mhm.
is it's a major cog in the system. So it's
Right. So how you going to add more taxes? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, do people understand what they really signing up for? Like, we already in a finance. Like, a lot of people are living check to check.
hmm
Most Americans live check to check.
hmm
You know what I'm saying? So how you going to add more taxes?
But that's what I'm saying. I need to do more research to see how this is going to actually play out because
Mhm.
I can't really speak on something or how something will play out based on something that you want to impose. I can speak on
Mhm.
what it is now because of the
Mhm.
tax situation now, the effects on the taxing situation now.
Mhm.
Speak on that all day long in backward. But because of the new tariff system, how they're going to implement it, where they're going to implement it, and from what I've heard so far, and I don't like to go on what I hear. I like to go on what I read and what I research.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
for some of the things that I've heard would be stuff like house appliances and computers and things of that nature, right? But there's an overall effect that it has to have, both good and bad, because when
Mhm.
you open up laws for taxes,
Mhm.
especially taxes, when they open up a tax law,
Mhm.
they just don't open up like when something's open, it's just not set. It's a two-way street. So when it goes out, it comes back. It is always like that. Even when more taxes being taken out over here on a back end somewhere, there's going to be
Mhm.
relief. You just have to fit the criteria, and if you don't,
Mhm.
then you lose that money. So that, and a lot of people don't realize tax is very criteria based. That's why.
Mhm.
Well, I work the same job as you, and but we like you got way more money than I. Like yo,
Not
y'all
the
can
same status, right?
it don't
Right.
matter. We work the
Yeah.
same job. Y'all can
Yeah.
even file the same status, but y'all might not have the same kids. And if y'all, I mean, same.
Yeah.
And if you do,
Right.
your your kid being 13 and my kid
Right.
being 12,
Yeah.
it's a big difference on the return based on what
Exactly.
you
Investment
qualify.
properties, all type of stuff. I might have investments. I might have all type of things that I could write off, things that I could don't have to pay, like you have to pay. You know what I'm saying?
Right, right. So we make the same amount of money, but guess what? I paid a little bit more in federal tax than you. How?
Mm-hmm.
I claim zero, you claim zero. Well, based
Mm-hmm.
on what I made, if you look at how much we let come out,
Mm-hmm.
mine came out more. So we're not going to get the same. So what I'm saying,
Mm-hmm.
people don't realize that it's all individual based. We all got our own individual that's a part of you.
Mm-hmm.
Now with the tariff system,
Everybody getting it because it's goods based.
right? But we have to know
Yes.
how they're going to apply it, which is most important. And then that's when we could really give an educated guess at the
Mm-hmm.
so. And these are things that's going to be implemented. Even if they try to do it immediately, those
Mm-hmm.
taxes won't be implemented for 2025. We're talking about 2026. So,
Mm-hmm.
but that's if they do that. So people got to keep that in
It looks
mind.
like they're gonna do that, but if you go to other countries where they do that, the people are poor in the worst way. Like, I don't, I don't see how that benefits people at the end of the day. You're gonna pay the cost of that. Like at the end of the day, no matter what they take tariffs on, you're gonna pay the cost.
hmm
You
hmm
know?
So it's going to be interesting moving forward, seeing how this all develops because it was the way it's supposed to be presented. It was supposed to be designed to keep more money in American people pockets and so on and so forth. So we're going to see. All right, moving on to our next hot topic, y'all. Uh, they have a new trailer for 2025 coming out. They did a spin to this. Popeye the Sailor Man has turned into Popeye the Slayer Man. It's that horror movie where Popeye the Sailor Man is actually the murderer, and the way they flipped it, the concept looks dope. Great or not, I got to see the movie, but this movie is set to come out in 2025. Did you see the trailer for Popeye the Slayer?
Nah, but why they doing that? Like I looked at Popeye as a hero, man. They ate spinach and saved the day. Like, why y'all got put a crazy spin on everything, man? Our kids is crazy enough. You know? God.
The spin is
Let's
wild. The
huh?
spin is wild. Like from the parts that I've seen of the trailer, this is all in the trailer. So basically, Popeye is on this boat where it's deserted, right? And somehow when people go on a boat, they end up missing, right? Popeye arms, the reason why he got the way he was, that there was something chemically wrong with the spinach
Right.
in the in the spinach in the canned
Right.
spinach, and by him eating it, it made his mind and his body evil, and like it looked kind of dope. But I hope it don't be ass. I'm looking forward to seeing it. It's coming out
You
2020.
can watch it. Probably like the cocaine bear or something, but
Yeah,
I mean, but why? Like these people crazy. Like, why they just don't be making original, you know?
the original. I
I'm
get.
just saying, make an original movie. Like, if you're gonna, you know,
I guess
like,
with time going by, people find it, not me personally, but people find it more interesting adding like a dramatic element. Like, for example, with Bel Air, right? I love Prince of Bel Air, but the dramatic portion is interesting. I don't like the new take on it completely, but it is an interesting watch that they made it more dramatic.
see, I never watched it because I can't imagine Bel Air without Will Smith. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't want to see it. Like, I hate like generic. Like, it's to me, it's always a generic version of the first.
Yeah,
It's like to me, even something as simple as Power. I never, ever since Omari left, I
yeah,
really don't want to. I'd
yeah,
rather watch Raising Kanan. The rest of the spinoffs, I don't like. You
yeah,
know,
yeah.
it's not
And
the same.
just said that on one of the past episodes with me and Santana. We was like, yo, 50 Cent, I don't it must be something personal on why Omari Hardrick hasn't come back to the franchise yet. Because he wants to come back to the franchise, and that ghost character, like, I'm not trying to
They said he wanted more money, and 50 tried to break on him, talking about he ain't worth that or whatever. But at the end of the day, like
the
that
product is
show, yeah, them kids ain't doing it. Like it's not cutting it. I mean,
yeah.
kudos to what's the
Mike,
kid that plays his son?
Michael Rainey,
He's
Michael Rainey,
doing a lot of good things in this community. Kudos to him as a
yeah,
person, but
yeah,
his part, man, that is man, it puts me to sleep, man. That whole is not relatable and it's not believable and it's just all over the place. You know what I'm saying?
like
Bad writing, bad writing.
people that still watch it is watching it because they're invested into the storyline completely. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
when you invested 6 seasons of something past, you see it through. You know,
hmm
people who still watch it. Michael Rainey Jr. is not doing a terrible job. He's actually doing a good job as playing his role, but it's not enough to
hmm
want to be invested like how Amari Hardrick was with Ghost.
Yeah. Yeah.
Uh,
And all
mo-
of a sudden, this dude is a genius. He made all the mistakes in the world. Now he's a super genius that can't do like I don't get it. Like
yeah, yeah. So
nah.
yeah, no, I feel you on that. So it's like, what's going on, right? So
Yeah.
um, so that's why I think they doing that. Even Martin announced that they're going to be redoing Martin, but they're going to do a dramatic portion.
Right.
So it's going to be like how Bel Air is. So
Right.
doing it more dramatic, and they're going to center it around Pam.
Hmm.
Yes. Yeah, so yeah, I know.
I
I know.
mean, but they got the same characters, so you probably watch it. You know what I'm saying? And Martin is funny, so
Yeah, yeah.
if they got
Rowan,
the same characters, yeah, because it'll be good to see them at first. To see all the characters again. But
yeah.
will it be the same? I don't know. I gotta watch it first.
My dog Rowan Jack in the building. Appreciate
Yeah,
you.
what's up, Ronan?
He's sending you some love. But yeah,
Yeah.
you as always, Rowan, one of our badge holders. Get your badges, man. Appreciate you tapping in. All right, moving on to our next hot topic. Travis Hunter, Colorado. Travis Hunter, cornerback and receiver, put on a show in his last game for the season. Colorado beat Oklahoma State 52-0. He scored 3 touchdowns, 3 touchdown catches, 1 interception. What do you think about that game? The game that he had for his
I
last.
mean, they've been doing work all season. I just hope that they don't take Sanders' son to the Giants. I just hope they
Me
don't.
too. Me too. Me
I
too.
just hope. That's the only thing. Don't send him to no team where he ain't gonna succeed. They don't have no line. They don't have no coach, no line, no direction. Do not send that boy there to fail, man.
Me
Well,
too.
I don't think his father gonna let him go there, but
Yeah, I said the same thing.
do the Eli Manning, man. Do the same thing Eli Manning did. I ain't going there. I'm going here. Like, do that, man. Because
Yeah.
come on, man.
I think things are really in line for him to go to the Raiders. When I looked at the standings, both them and the Giants have the lowest record totals in the league right
Mm-hmm.
now, both 2-8. So
Mm-hmm.
they're in line. So let's say if the Giants ended up with the worst record, right? By the Raiders being close, they could trade that pick. So if they got the number 2 pick, they could trade
Mm-hmm.
for that number 1 pick and give up another pick to get that number 1 pick. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
what it's going to take. So I'm with you. I hope
Yeah,
I
man. The
hope
Giants is way behind.
I hope Shador don't end up with the Giants. But Travis Hunter, the game that he had,
The
I
whole season. That boy's talented. That boy's talented. Anyway, he gonna be all right.
he gonna put on the show. Now
Mm-hmm.
him in New York makes sense. His personality doesn't fit New York though.
He's Odell Beckham Jr. Like he reminds me of an Odell Beckham. Explosive, but
Mm-hmm.
he undersized a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He's not that
A little,
big.
he's a little slim. He's a
Yeah,
little.
he remind me of Odell Beckham. All the talent in the world, but he a little undersized. So you have to put him in certain situations from the shine. He's definitely going to be explosive. No matter where he go.
For me, when I grade him and evaluate him, he's a plug and play corner first day, and then for the receiver portion, you put him in packages. But he's a start day one at corner because you got.
Yeah, he even you know who he really reminds me of? What's that guy on the Ravens? The young they got a name for him too. Jackson calls him something. Rock'em something. What do you
I know you're talking about the
He
little.
reminds me of him. Like he get, he a playmaker. He can make a play.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
But,
saying?
but people forget Travis Hunter is a legit 6'1". He's
Yeah.
right. He's maybe like a buck 72, maybe.
Yeah, yeah. That's the only thing he undersized. The NFL is big. Like and they athletic. Everybody on it is athletic. You know what I'm saying? So
Right, but this is the NFL. So if anybody could put muscle on you, it's the NFL. And if y'all remember what Deion Sanders looked like in college and what he looked like in the league, he looked like a different dude. He
but do
he
you think any of these players is like Deion Sanders though? Travis Hunter ain't not no Deion Sanders, man. Deion Sanders was a once in a lifetime talent. He was
at
neon. Deion was a lifetime.
at this age, Travis Hunter is a better overall than Deion Sanders at this
Heck
age.
no, you-
At this age, yeah,
hell no,
at this age,
no,
Deion
no.
excellent player, excellent. I
He's a
Deion
good. No, don't get me wrong. This age,
he's
he's
my
a
favorite
great
athlete.
player, but he ain't no damn like. There's stars and there's super duper stars. Like Deion Sanders is a super duper star.
Yeah, I mean,
He is
don't
huh?
get me wrong. Deion Sanders is my favorite athlete of all time, right? In the
Over Michael
NFL,
Vick.
huh?
Over Michael Vick.
It's not- Michael Vick is my guy. That's my
All
guy.
right.
When we talk about all time,
Yeah.
he's not all time than Deion Sanders in my eyes. That's my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
He's on my top 10 list all time, right? We're talking about just
Mm-hmm.
favorite athlete. We're not saying who's the best. We're talking about as a favorite, right? So Michael Vick is in my top 10. I got Michael Vick's college jersey in my closet right now.
Right. I thought athlete wise, Michael Vick definitely. But
But
Deion, I mean, I wouldn't be mad either way.
but for me, Deion right now, when we talk about Florida State Deion and we're talking about Colorado Travis Hunter, nah, bro. Travis got it, bro.
You know the difference to me? You could put Deion or Michael Vick on any team. They make an impact. They
Facts.
just give them the football and get out the way.
That's a fact. That's a fact. That's a
I
fact.
don't know if Travis Hunter going to do that. I don't know if he's going to do that. Like, you read like Bo Jackson. This dudes that come around once in a lifetime that just give him the ball, get out the way. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Travis is like that. You remember what he did on Jackson State? He was dominating on both sides of the ball in Jackson
yeah,
State.
he's nice.
And
We
then
gonna see.
but the conversation, but see, it's so weird when it comes to Deion Sanders, and this is what makes him great. When he does well, they change the goalpost. The goalpost changes, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now when you get a player like Travis Hunter, when you get his son like Shador, now they go to
Mm-hmm.
Jackson State. They want to dominate here
Mm-hmm.
where we're at, right? And
Mm-hmm.
purpose. They want to dominate where we're at. And
Mm-hmm.
well, he can't do that at the top level. So now
Mm-hmm.
Shador is the best quarterback in the country, and Travis is the best player in the country. So now
Yeah.
what's the conversation? But so the fact that we even comparing Travis Hunter to Deion Sanders in itself is like
Yeah. Well,
what
that's the good thing. Deion Sanders took them out of them B division, put them in A. Like they play with the top talent. So you can't say they not a
right,
prospect. Yeah.
right, right. But that used to be the conversation. So
Right.
that's what makes Deion Sanders great. No matter what he accomplished, people
Yeah.
goalposts, and he's always exceeded. And now you have his son and another player who is all world. So me personally,
He got
Travis.
two sons that's going to NFL probably.
Yeah, no, the Shiloh is definitely going to the league, but
Mm-hmm.
he didn't have the season that
Mm-hmm.
he was supposed to have, and I think it took his draft stock down. That's my personal opinion.
Yeah, but he's still he's still a first round draft pick. He's going to go in
No,
the first round.
no,
You don't think
no,
you don't think he's going in the first round?
no, no.
I don't know about that one.
He might go six. He might go six.
In the first round.
No, no, because remember, then the NFL draft is 7 rounds.
You said he might go in the sixth round?
Yes.
I thought you said six overall. The
No,
sixth round. Oh my
no,
God. He's
no.
not that bad. No, he's not that bad.
See, it's not.
Definitely second. Definitely second round. Definitely if you don't. No, six?
No, no. See, what people don't realize about the NFL draft, it's not about being bad if you go six. It's about your value. Now, if you'd have went the year prior, his value was
Orlando said shallow trash.
his his value probably a third round pick, maybe second
You think
round.
so? I think the NFL's in need of corners. And corners and safeties, they need those.
He's a safety.
Yeah, but they need that. Like the
Yeah,
NFL be needing cover people, you know what I'm saying?
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The value of what he can do, what he
Mm-hmm.
does very well. I'm not dissing him, right? He covers for a safety. He can cover tight ends and backs.
Mm-hmm.
Not a shutdown on tight ends and backs. He still struggled on certain backs,
Mm-hmm.
certain tight.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? That's
Mm-hmm.
all I'm saying. And then tackling wise, he doesn't. He's not a great tackler.
No, he not. His
Yeah,
father wasn't either, though. Dion wasn't a great tackler either.
but Shiloh, he gonna
Mm-hmm.
dump you though. He gonna go for the kill shot. That
Mm-hmm.
misses tackles. If he focus on tackling,
Mm-hmm.
he will make more tackles. Like he gets a lot of tackles. Don't get me wrong. Like if you
Mm-hmm.
look at a game, he'll get like 11 tackles, 12 tackles. You'd be like, damn, he had a killing.
Mm-hmm.
But when you watch them games and you see the difference that his play doesn't dictate wins, meaning making the big tackle. You'll make the big hit, but anytime you don't make the big hit, you're gonna miss the tackle. So from what I can see, he might go 5th, but definitely a 6th round based on his value. And
That'd be bad.
fast. He's not super duper fast neither. He's not going to run a 4.4. He may run a 4.5, 4.6. He's going to get drafted, but
You don't have to run a 4.4 if he's a safety. Only you got to run 4.4 if you a corner and stuff like that. That's just safe.
like in this, and he has to be at a 4.5. He can't run a 4. He has to be at a 4.5. And if he gets that, he's going to get drafted. But again, he's not the value. That's all I'm saying. It's the value. See, if he'd have went the year prior, his value was at maybe 2nd round, definitely 3rd round. But this year, he really derailed himself because there was too many games where he missed a lot of tackles, and that's the reason why his stock has dropped. But he's still a good talent. He could hit. He's fiery.
And he got good instincts to me. I think he
He,
got good instincts.
he has terrific ball skills. He can play. To play. So I'm not saying he can't play. I'm just saying his value. When guys in the NFL, it's not because they can't play. It's the value. Same thing with the NBA. They rather take a chance with a guy who is 7 foot named Ashgash Mugash than a guy who is 6 foot, got all the dribble,
Of course.
like we've seen it throughout the so that's all I'm saying. It's just the value. So but shout out to Travis Hunter. Heisman that man. He deserves the Heisman. That type of game is crazy. Heisman that man. He deserved the Heisman, in my opinion. So shout out to Travis Hunter. All right, moving on to our next hot topic. Companies decided to roll back their DEI policies, meaning the diversity, equality, inclusion process within their hiring system. Companies such as Walmart, Microsoft, Ford Motor,
Walmart,
and what's the other company that I have? And Lowe's. It's a slew of other companies, but these 5 was the biggest brand names that I took from the 5. What do you think about them not including the DEI into the process anymore?
Project 2025. Project 2025 in full effect. That's what they said they wanted,
Yeah.
I can't cry. Like, that's what people voted for. Like, that's what they voted for, But let me tell you something. It's weird to me how people cry about it, because DEI is nothing but affirmative action, right? But a lot of them people got their jobs from affirmative action. You close the door on somebody else, but you got it that way. That's the only thing that bothers me. But you can't cry. People voted, and this is what they want. It is what it is. I just feel sorry for my children. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, too, stop trying to fit in. Get our own, do our own, go to our own schools. Stop trying to go to their schools, go to your schools. Stop trying to go to their jobs. You understand? You got to make for yourself.
But I gotta put in this point. What most people don't realize, affirmative action was put in because people who were qualified wasn't even being granted a seat at the table. People,
That's true.
the experience that was just excluded based because of their race. So that's why originally affirmative actions was even included. Like both was master's degrees. Mother and father had master's educated people, but because
look at the climate now, though. Qualifications don't matter anymore. Half the people that's getting appointed in the White House do not have the qualifications. Before Matt Gaetz got kicked, he hasn't even tried a case. He's about to be the attorney general. He's never even tried a case.
Correct, right.
So like, we're in an era now where qualifications don't even matter, and it's now it's reversed. Like, now it's I'm being discriminated against because I'm white. You know what I'm saying? It got flipped.
But see, my thing is, and I understand it when I went into business for myself, is hiring people that I trust. There's nothing wrong with hiring people that you don't know and that has the qualifications. But when you hire somebody that you trust, you know it's always going to get done.
But at the same time, you still have to be qualified to do it too. And this is not no regular business. This is the country you running. Somebody that means no. You want to hire everybody that won't tell you no. Where's the democracy, huh?
But that's not realistic because you just
What do you
said
mean?
the people that are hired in certain positions, we see it now, they don't have the qualifications.
Yeah, because of what you just said, he hiring people off who going to listen to him more than who's qualified to do the job. And we live in a country where we vote on certain things. I have to tell you that's not going to work. Sometimes I'm not going to do everything you say. Like I'm gonna do my job. Like I'm gonna do. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Right. But what I'm saying, I'm talking about for me, why I understand hiring people that you trust, because it's not about doing everything that I say. It's more so about the job getting done, being able to be relatable. Like for example, for those who don't know, y'all know I'm an artist, but me and my dad has always been in business together when he was alive, right?
Mm-hmm.
That man used to argue like cats and dogs every day.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Right? But
Yeah.
still, we still what do we still do? Got to get the job done. Both being qualified, both being sound mind and body. He's the elder, so my respect for him is of the elder. But because our relationship was more like big brother, little brother, we've always had
Yeah,
but
but it's the government now. You want to run the government like an all the way business, and it's not dope.
right, but the point that I'm making is not necessarily about getting along when you working with somebody that you trust. Is knowing that the work is going to get done.
It's not about getting along. It's about knowing your job. And like perfect example, right? Government spending, right?
Mm-hmm.
People know, like you not knowing it doesn't matter. Can you do the job? Do you know anything about the economy? Do you know anything about the law? You just gonna go in there and just make stuff up and then you understand what I'm trying to say? You have to know what you're doing at the end of the day.
But that's what I said. But that's what I said. Because me and him know what we're doing, we have a different outlook on what we're going to do. But because he's the elder, you see what I'm saying? He's the elder. I still look at it a different way to do the same job, but in more in a in
But see, you having a see, but this is where we're gonna argue because your dad knew what he was doing.
and I know
You think Trump know what he doing?
huh?
You think Trump know what he doing? He was a real estate mogul. He running the country's a whole different. He don't know every law of the land. He don't know the Constitution. He don't know. He don't know everything. You have to get people that know what they're doing. He don't know the economy. He's not an economic specialist. But you putting a bunch of meatheads in it just because they're gonna listen to you.
Right, but the point that I'm making is the fact that when we're working together, right? He trusts me, I'm trusting him, and we both know what we're doing. It's not about getting along all the time. It's about because we know what we know what we're doing, the work needs to be done. So I hear your point when the fact where you're saying like, all right, if he's hiring this person because they have a relationship that he trusts, they don't have to get along to get the work done. So we're looking at the president. This is the second term, right? Is he's the tool in the shed? Hell no. But we voted for him, right? I'm not saying me.
I didn't vote for him, but okay. Yeah. I know.
Me or you or anybody else vote for him. Even if I did vote for him, the point of the matter, he won the electoral college and the popular
bad too. Yeah.
close. So somebody voted for him. So the point that do he has all the qualifications? No, he's not even the first president to not be qualified. We had presidents in office that was straight up actors.
Yeah.
If y'all don't believe it, y'all do the research. I'm not
talking we did.
Do the research. There was actors as presidents before. So the point that I'm making is, and
I'm not, but at the same time, they couldn't put everybody like you can appoint. Yeah, right. That now we're in a climate where this is the first time I've ever seen where you have the House and the Senate. Mm-hmm. So whatever and this whole election's been based on doing whatever he says. Mm-hmm. Are you confident he know what he's doing? Mm-hmm. That's more the bigger picture. Now that we're here, are you confident he knows what he's doing? Because if he don't, you're gonna be in the worst place. It almost looks like he about to go at war with our friends. Because don't we have a treaty with Canada and Mexico?
Right.
That's
Like
I mean, damn.
Canada don't want the beef; they want to resolve. So I like the fact that we look strong and it's going to be strong. From even if it's from a standpoint was like, yo, the look of it, opposed to what we could have looked like. Like let's keep it real. Kamala in the office, that don't
Kamala.
I do it. I
Uh, I mean,
file a name like Kamala, but tonight, but she didn't. She doesn't give us a strong look. Her stance was unclear, and her objectives was was so like ridiculous at best because the things that she was proposing, a lot of the stuff we already had, and it's like, what are you talking about, lady?
okay, but what are you gonna get? What are you gonna get now? Tariffs. That's all you're gonna get.
We're going to see. And again, if
I
he
mean,
does,
but I'm just saying, what are you gonna get? And then not even that. It's not even that. The reason why this election was important wasn't even none of that stuff. It was because I mean, I don't want you want to make this a political podcast for the rest of the podcast. I can say I don't want to say certain stuff in it. Like I feel like it's a supremacy thing.
okay,
You know, it's a
okay,
supremacy thing. There's no debate about that. You know what I'm saying? People establish power, and that's what they do. And it makes it feel like it's not meant for you. It's
mm-hmm,
not meant for you. It was never meant for you.
mm-hmm,
You know what I'm saying? So all that other stuff to me didn't matter. I just feel like you always move the goal. Like to me, they move the goalposts
mm-hmm.
to win. To me, you know what I'm saying? It's not meant for you. It's not meant for you.
Well, at I don't want to have because we have several conversations with
Mhm.
one particular subject. So it's not about having a political conversation because we've been talking political. We talking,
Yeah, yeah.
you
No,
know,
but I gotta watch what I say. 'Cause I don't want to seem like a racist or anything like that. But it's definitely a one-sided agenda. Like it's just like power established. Like it's not meant for you. It never was, and it's going back to that. That's what it feels like.
mm,
Even when you see the look, because to be honest, Democrat and Republican, if you really paying attention, Democrat and Republican don't matter. The electoral votes reflected both. It looked like both sides kind of. You understand
that
the way that
it was
electoral?
it was overwhelming.
Uh,
It was
yeah,
over
yeah, 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 yeah.
what the next 4 years
So
was going to look like. One thing for certain, it couldn't look like the past 4 years. In the past
yeah,
years,
uh,
people lost their homes, people lost their jobs. Like it's terrible. We couldn't go the next 4 years with the 4 years
mhm,
that we had. We was basically eliminating the middle class altogether. It was basically
mhm,
going to be poor or you had some money. And the middle
right,
we thrive in this country. The middle class is what makes our
mhm,
country thrive because the middle
mhm,
class create businesses. Our middle
mhm,
class have the ability to move this thing forward. If we don't have a real middle class and we just have a poor and people working 50 to 60 hours and they still can't pay their rent, then you're going to create a system that's going to end up in civil war between the haves and the have-nots because people are going to be tired of not
You
having.
don't think that's inevitable? You think the price is going to go down overnight now?
Of course not. Of course.
Oh, Ronan Jackson, I'm afraid I've been lied to. Elaborate, Ronan.
Of course not. Of course.
Hmm.
But we could not have what we had in the last 4 years. Could not.
Hmm.
We could not because again, even when we go Republican, so some people think like even if it was a Republican Party in all
Hmm.
the last 4 years, we still would have had all this going on and this, that, and the third. Not necessarily.
Hmm.
It's never that cut and dry because
Hmm.
nuances makes the difference within the salaries which dictates classes. So if we don't have a certain class anymore and people are busting their ass to get nothing at the end of the day, that's going to be something that's going to be when people
I
can.
understand what you're saying, but how is it going to change now? That's the only thing I'm saying. How is it going to change now? I don't see how it's going to change.
Mhm. I
That's
mean,
all I'm saying.
there's no clear cut policy that Donald Trump has said that's like, yo, if we do this, then everybody's going to get to this money and then it's going to just explode.
He clearly said he's going to give the power back to the states. The states. Then it's going to be as it is. As it is.
But because if that was true, he would have won the election by even more. If that was true, if there was something that was so clear cut, but his plan seemed to be more throughout time based, like how it was the first time. Because the first time when he was in office, that first tax year when it hit, people was like, "Yo, what is this? Like, bring Obama back? Like my taxes, like it was different." Especially,
Yeah.
especially for the middle class, because for those middle class, when they file taxes, they used to
You
have
lost a lot of your itemization.
a itemized deduction,
Yeah.
standard
You
deduction.
lost all your itemization.
Right. So when he cut that out, right? When he cut
Mm-hmm.
working class really suffered from getting back a suitable refund. It's like, damn, I make 80,000 a year. I pay about 18,000 in tax,
Mm-hmm.
more like 16,000 in taxes, and I got all these work related expenses that I'm not able to benefit on anymore. So that was cut, but then through the process, other things was added and certain things was lowered. So which made people actually end up getting more money. People
I never got more money. As long as he was in office, I never got more money.
I
The only
definitely
way I got more money is because of my investments. I mean, I didn't get more money. I broke even.
broke even.
If
Okay.
that makes sense. If that makes sense. I never.
Okay.
Mm-mm.
I definitely made more. I definitely
Mm.
it was and it wasn't I won't say close, but it wasn't close. It wasn't
Mm.
so like these past 4 years, if I didn't
Yeah.
work hard, if I didn't work
Mhm.
hard out here,
Well. Now you battling all type of stuff now. Yeah.
you know.
Like, yeah.
But at the end of the day,
But I don't see it getting no better. I don't think it matters who's inside. It's the way the climate is now too. It's like, you know what I'm saying?
but at the end of the day, with this DI, with this DEI that portion that's going to be completely stricken from the hiring process. I'm more in tune to what's going to be the new hiring process. Are they really going to hire people based on qualifications or people that they feel comfortable with? So when you talk about somewhere like Walmart, you will want to hire the best candidate available. In any job, you will want to hire the best candidate available. But I can understand being a
You don't think that they do that though?
they saying they're not going to basically do that.
I just feel like that's all like I don't know. It's I digress because I don't want to get into you know, there's certain things you can't talk about in public. You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna I choose not to.
Okay.
They want like the Republicans, do you want good luck. I hope it work out. I hope it
Hmm.
works out. You know what I'm saying? You know.
Yeah, I hope so too.
But looking at these picks, I don't know how anybody like what.
I hope it works. But what I tell people all the time, instead of worrying about the federal government, worry about your local government. Worry about your local politician, state that you live in, the area.
But you know why you have to worry about the federal government too? Because now, like perfect example, I do go to all my count. I go to my town halls. I know my senators, my district senators, right? I'm very well known. But some of them need funding from the federal government sometime, right? Like even with the immigration policy, the federal government was giving a lot of these states money.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So yeah, you can't say don't worry about the federal government. They finance a lot of these states, like especially if they doing what the feds want them to do. They financing it.
Mm-hmm. But
A
I
lot of
don't worry. I said be more focused on your local. Be more focused on your local because where you live, that matters the most. What happens in California,
oh yeah, it do,
it's not
it
necessarily
do,
going to affect you in
it
Florida.
do. What happened? Say that again.
What happens in Kent, what happens in California is not going to mainly affect you in Florida. So be morely invested into your local government. I'm not saying don't pay attention to federal. I'm saying be more invested into your local because your local, your state government is, and your local government, the locality area is most important.
I think in my opinion, all branches of government is important. You need all of them.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Like that's just how I feel. But You're right. Local is important.
Mm-hmm.
It is. But I believe that we should be invested in all branches.
Mm-hmm. You know, and maybe I don't want to say maybe. I know for a fact living in Florida has dictated my thought process because there's a lot of things that will happen in the rest of the 50 states. It won't happen in Florida because of our local government is just not having it. The same
Florida doing some weird stuff right now, especially with your house insurances.
right. It may not be popular to other states, but
Mm.
it may work for us. You get what I'm saying? Even if it's not something that works for us, is the fact
Like perfect. I'm gonna give you a perfect example. My mom and dad, right? My mom and dad's on a fixed income. They retired,
that. Hmm.
and they just because and now they live in uh uh damn. Anyway, they're nowhere near flood zone, but they're playing now. Their insurance been raised just like these flood zone people because the insurance not covering the cost. They making everybody in Florida pay the cost for the people.
Right. Hmm.
So now they in a bond.
Hmm.
You feel what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah. But the point that I'm making is that we do our own thing. That's the point that I'm making. Just because
mm,
other places do it, that don't mean we're gonna do it. We do our own thing, even if it's for our benefit or not. And I'm all for our benefit because I'm not gonna
mm,
say that everything that we do in Florida is for our benefit, but they try to work in that mode to make it in our benefit. The housing
mm.
market in Florida right now is crazy,
It's bananas. Yeah,
crazy.
my parents can't even sell their house. They can't even sell because nobody want to cover that cost.
And that's what they saying. That's another thing. If we would have went continue with them saying the same system for the next 4 years, the housing market would be non-existent. It's certain things that might be extinct in the next 10 years. So we have to be very careful. I hope it works out for our benefit.
But who do you blame for that though? Like letting certain corporations buy up the whole housing market and make everybody renters is who you blame for that?
Well, I
Who do you blame for that?
no, but I no, but I think that due to what we hear and not doing our own research, that we think that owning homes is going to be like the source of being financially independent. That's not always the case. I watch somebody buy a $600,000 home and was gone in a year. What
Because
benefit?
it's probably above their means, but
No,
why?
it
I
was
don't know. That gets lost in translation to me because options. You should always have like if you whether you want to rent or own, that should be an option, right?
facts. But what most people think, they like, yo, they think it's end all be all to financial freedom, and it's not. It should definitely be an option, but it's not the like. If I don't own my house, then it's like, damn, like you still got to pay taxes on the house. It's a different situation when you own the land. It's completely different.
I get what you're saying, but at the same time, what if I want to?
It's nothing wrong with that. It's nothing
But
wrong.
now that's what I'm saying. Like, what if I want to? Like, that's the problem. Like, what if I want to? What if I want to own a house?
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
Why should that be an astronaut? Why is that like the American dream, right? If
Hmm.
you should be able to get whatever your heart desires if you work hard for it, right?
Hmm.
Why can't I get one if I desire one?
Right, and there's nothing wrong with
That's
that.
all I'm saying.
But
That's all.
the effect is not the same how it once was when it was being issued out. Like you can have the American dream if you buy your house, if you buy your car, and it doesn't have the same lasting effect that it once did. So that's a part
Yeah,
of
because now you can't get it like that. Because now it's almost astronomical to get. It's not because, like, I get what you're saying. It may not be the best financial choice for everyone. Fine. But
it.
what if I still want it? I
Mhm,
should be able to achieve that if I want it though.
mhm,
Like why are you taking these options from my kids?
mhm,
You understand? It's still an option.
mhm.
I could rent or I could not rent. Whatever floats your boat, whatever works. Like, we grew up in the world, whatever works for you, right?
Right.
Okay, why my options are being taken away?
They
That's
said
all.
out to Patrick Torres, it comes down to money, not
Mhm.
Not necessarily. I know people that make
I agree with that. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't think it matters.
but
It
it's
don't
not
matter who's in there right now. That's exactly what I agree with Torres 100%.
it's not necessarily because I know people that make 250, $300,000 a year that own their home, that have college funds and this, that, and the third, and they feel like they live their life check to check based on the assets that they have. So at the end of the day, for them, it's no longer worth it. It hasn't been worth it.
But
And
whether it's what, no, I'm not arguing that point. I'm just arguing the fact that they can get a mortgage though.
right,
If they wanted to get one, if they wanted to get one, they can. You
that's
feel what I'm trying to say? Yeah.
That's bull. No, Patrick, that's not bull. That's not bull. No, you speaking to somebody that really know this. That's not bull. Don't come on here and say that's bull. That's a fact. There's people that make over 250,000 a year that feels like their check is still check to check based on their assets, based on them owning homes, based on having several college funds. When you have several children, guess what? You make over a certain amount of money, you don't qualify for FAFSA or
I
any
mean, I live in Georgia. There's people that make a lot of money and they still. It's not even just getting taxed. I think a lot of people live above their means and don't budget correct. It's a lot. It's a bunch of reasons
but
that I see people like that. But I'm not even making that argument. I'm
right,
just making an argument. If I want the American dream, why is it not available to me? Like let me make my own mistake anyway.
right,
All right, fine.
right,
Like you may advise me not to get a house or get a house, but I
right,
should have the option if I want to. If I
right.
work hard, you know what I'm saying, and I bust my behind and I want to get a house, I should be able to get one.
Right. Now, see, I agree with that. But what people don't realize when they hear $250,000, $300,000, they don't hear the tax that comes with that. They just see the number. When you make $300,000, you just don't get $300,000 and you pay your bills based on $300,000. When you make 250,000 and up, you're going to pay a severe tax penalty from federal alone that's around like $40,000 to $50,000 based on that number alone. And depending on your state, you're going to have to pay a heavy percentage on the state portion of that as well. But my statement is addressing to
I remember having to use WIC. While yeah, some people do. Yeah, it depends on finances. If budgeting, incomes, and families. There's a lot of things that have to do with that. There's a lot of things have to do with that. And I get taxed. I get taxed crazy too.
yeah.
Somebody said they pay 8,000. I pay almost that every year. I pay almost that.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? I pay almost that.
That's where I'm at. See, at the end of the day, right?
22%. That's light. You know, I pay 35.
But for your,
I pay
your
35.
your state matters as well, right? So
Mm-hmm.
realize, depending on your state, you may not have you
Mm-hmm.
pay very little or none at all. But if you live
Mm-hmm.
in like New York, Los Angeles, you're gonna pay
35.
state
Mm-hmm.
state portion of that too. So when people
Mm-hmm.
type of money, people think that they bring home that type of money, and it's impossible for people that make that type of money like they live
Mm-hmm.
check to check. It's very
Mm-hmm.
real. I've seen it. I've seen
Mm-hmm.
somebody pay for a $600,000 house, and
Mm-hmm.
we didn't receive the benefits
Mm-hmm.
of paying for a $600,000 house.
Big buzz. That's not true. Higher education equals better job equals better lifestyle. I know people with PhDs that ain't making ends meet, and I
Yeah,
know people with PhDs.
yeah, yeah.
You
I,
saying? Yeah,
I
that's you. I mean, you had a 600. That yeah, good. I mean, kudos. You did your thing.
hmm Now
You know what I'm
that's
saying?
fire, on Jack. That's fire.
Yeah, that's fire. Kudos. You know what I'm
I
saying?
All right, y'all. Moving on to our next hot topic. That was a real good one because
Yeah, that was yeah,
we really,
engaged. Yeah.
we really leaned into that. Um, so this was an interesting story. There was a video of a homeowner who uh who almost got robbed by a fake delivery man that pulls up to his door, said, I got your package. He had a gun in his hand.
Mhm.
The homeowner was able to push him enough where he kind of like fell back and spooked him. And he got in the van and took off. This particular man was connected to like a stabbing incident as well. So luckily they caught this man. that was connected to the attempted robbery. He was connected to a stabbing incident as well. What do you think?
Mhm. Some crazy people out there. You got to be aware. You got to be aware. You know what I'm saying? Be
Hmm.
aware of your surroundings. People look suspicious. Don't open your door. You don't have to open the door. And somebody ring you. You don't have to open the door.
Hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Even with a package, let them put your package down, and when they leave, you pick it up. You ain't got to go greet them at the door.
Yeah,
Be
yeah,
aware.
and it's so crazy. Like I don't want to sound old, like, but when we grew up, we didn't have the rings, and we barely had
Mm-hmm.
clothes. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
like we really had to trust the fact when we open our door that
Mm-hmm.
had to be ready on top of be expected at our door, right?
Yeah.
And we live
Mm-hmm.
in a day and age where there's rings and people really take penitentiary chances just to
Mm-hmm.
rob you and get inside your home. So
Mm-hmm. Well,
very
good luck with that. I'm a homeowner, so I carry. You understand? You
yeah,
you 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 try to break them home if you want to.
yeah.
You're not going to.
It's
You understand?
gonna be nasty. That's one of the things.
It's going to be very nasty.
That's one of the things I love living in. One of the things I love living in Florida is that you get to protect your home. You get to protect
Mm-hmm.
yourself, and
Mm-hmm.
and it is what it is. I'm not going to say what or how, but you really taking life chances
Mm-hmm.
break into somebody's home in Florida.
But let me tell you something else. A lot of things people don't talk about is a protection plan. Like what to really do. Like you have to know how to put your family in one room.
Hmm.
I put yourself in a point where you understand, and you have to have a protection plan just in case something do happen. If your alarm go off, where do your kids run? Where do y'all go? Where you know what I'm saying? Because you can't have a shootout in your house with your kids and your family there at the same time as well.
Well, I
You know
mean,
what I'm saying?
I get what you're saying, but I also look at it differently, because I think us as a culture, we're trained to, be the protectors, which we are. We're
Mm-hmm.
always the first line of defense.
Right.
But I also believe in everybody learning how to protect the house.
Mhm,
Because
mhm,
God forbid, if you fall, God forbid,
mhm,
because
mhm,
well, we're gonna fight tooth and nail like we Bruce Willis
mhm,
in all the
mhm,
diehards, right? We
mhm,
want to protect our family, but
mhm,
we have to make it normal that our family, our children know how to protect.
mhm,
So
mhm,
I first got my first like gun that I could have, right? Like, when you live in Florida, you get to like buy a gun and protect your.
mhm,
The first thing I saw when I come to my shooting to the shooting range, I saw little kids and their parents shooting
mhm.
at the range, right? But their parents was with them, right?
Right.
And the mindset to be like, yo, I'm gonna teach my kid about
Mhm.
guns and weapons is for them
Right.
as well. Because how many times
Mhm.
have little kids been around guns and accidentally lost their life or hurt this?
Mhm.
So it's very important that our kids and our family know how to protect themselves as well. So,
Exactly. I agree with that. I agree. Well, I'm not going to put a gun in their hand early, but I definitely give them a protection plan. Where to be, where to go. You hear that alarm ring, where to go, who to call, what to do.
hmm
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? Lock your door, do this, do that, call up. Don't even look around. You hit alarm, run, lock your door.
yeah,
Have you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we have these conversations. That's all I'm saying. I'm not all I'm saying is that every robbery ain't gonna be a scripted robbery where somebody comes up to your door. Sometimes you come in your house and somebody's already in there. Somebody
yeah.
broken, you know what I'm saying? Like you gotta think about different scenarios and try to prepare yourself mentally for different scenarios.
I definitely agree. Um, and to add on to that, uh, especially with guns, a lot of parents, if if you have a gun in a safe, because when you have guns in the home,
Mhm,
I'm in a safe, especially in Florida, you have to have
mhm,
a safe. And if your kid,
mhm,
God forbid, something was to happen to you,
mhm,
to understand that there's always a bullet in the chamber. Just because there's
mhm,
a clip, there's always one in the chamber. So the
mhm,
weapons is also required as well.
Mhm.
You know, with the plan
Yeah,
of
that's why I said I wouldn't, because it's too much. It's too easy to shoot. Like, you know how many people I know that's military, law enforcement, shot themselves, shot their kids. But I had a friend who killed his son cleaning his gun. Like, it can happen. It's
yeah,
accidents happen. You understand? So I don't think, in my opinion, because I know people that, I can't tell nobody what to do. I know people that give their kids guns since they was 5, but I wouldn't.
yeah,
So that's too much of it. They have to get the same training I get. I'm not
right,
going to train. I'll
right,
send them to a professional. Like,
right,
you understand?
right. But
Yeah,
see,
I do run drills, Ronan. I don't run it like how you think. I do drills. You know what I'm saying? I go to the range and I do certain drills too in my house. Like, I practice corners, knowing what safe angles to be at. What's the best angle for me if I do see someone? Like, I do stuff like that. You
because
know
the
what I'm
people
saying?
I was referring to that was doing the training to their kids was the people
Mhm.
that owned the store. It was their kids, the people that owned the store, that owned the weapons shop.
Mhm.
They was doing it with their kids, so you know they.
Mhm.
I'm guessing that they
Mhm.
classic.
That's the word, sweeping. Yeah, I do sweeps. Like, I'll practice sweeps, so I know I won't be uncomfortable going around the corner. And I do it with a shotgun and a handgun. Like, I do it with both to take, because sometimes it's a different experience when you go around certain. It's easier with a handgun than a shotgun, but
But people also have to know how to get around their house in the dark. Me,
exactly.
me personally, it
Mhm.
might sound strange, but
Mhm.
every light turned off in my home at any part of where I'm at, I
Mhm.
the other parts of the home, knowing exactly where I'm at, knowing what I'm touching,
Mhm.
all the
Mhm.
I can do that no matter where I'm at in the
Mhm.
house. You know what I'm saying? So people
Mhm.
be really in tune to their home, and it should be easy because it's your home, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Cracks and crevices of your home, um,
Mhm.
as well. All right, moving on to our next hot topic. President Biden pardons his son Hunter Biden from jail. What do you think about that?
I thought he wasn't going to do it. I was like, he's not going to pardon his son. That's expected.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Go out and live your life, man. Go out, take your family, live your life, man.
yeah. I'm not surprised at this either.
Yeah. I
Like
thought he wasn't going to do it. I'm not going to lie. But
shout out to Rowan Jack. We need to we need to all go to the range when I get back to Florida. I'm down. I'm down.
yeah, definitely,
Down, Rowan. I'm down.
definitely.
I'm telling you, these trigger hands just I'm down, man. I can't
I'm
speak.
nice too, Roman. I got my bring my little AR. We get busy. I get busy.
Get
I
busy.
get busy. Yeah, I got a few guns.
Bring that street sweeper.
Yeah.
Shut the
Yeah,
front.
of course. Of course he would have done the same. Anybody would do the same for their kids. I mean, shoot, he
Yeah.
pardoned rappers and Harry. Didn't Trump pardon Harry O from Death Row?
So,
He pardoned Harry O from Death Row. He
so
pardoned rappers and all types of, why you can't pardon your son, shoot.
yeah,
That's a no-brainer.
I agree with Patrick on that as well. I agree with yeah.
Yeah.
I think, like you said, anybody in that position
Yeah.
would do that and get up out of Dodge, especially if that's one of the last things that they're gonna do.
Listen, man, you gonna leave your kids in jail? If they listen, I ain't leaving my son in jail for that. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? Not for that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Right or wrong, that's my son.
Yeah.
I'm not leaving my son in jail.
I think most parents is gonna feel,
Mhm.
and if they have the power to do it, it's like, all right, we yeah,
Unless he a serial killer or something, you know what I'm saying?
right, right,
But
right, right,
ain't no way in the world leaving my son in jail.
and get
I,
out of Dodge.
I was thinking that, so I said, is he? To be honest, how would you have looked at Biden if he didn't do it?
Yeah,
You know, just do crazy.
yeah, that's true.
Broke the law. Don't everybody though? I mean, to be honest, we had a president who broke. We got a president
Yeah,
who broke.
yeah, yeah. Like,
He broke the law. He
all types of law,
ain't in jail.
right?
You know what I'm saying?
The way I
You
look
can't.
at politics now is a part of how I look at politics now.
Yeah.
It's all about timing. It's all
Hmm.
about timing. When you do your crime, and it kind of go unnoticed, if you can get away with it, you're gonna get away with it. And I think that's anybody. If you did something that was illegal, and we all do it to some sort of capacity in some sort of way, we don't all go by the book. If
Mm-hmm.
all went by the book, we will all would get in trouble for something, not making it right, not making it an excuse about it. What I'm saying is, if we can get away with stuff, we will get away with it. That's
Who
all.
is we though? Suarez, you said we break the law, we go right to jail. Who's we?
Yeah,
We
but
have innocent people, and we have people that do stuff all the time that don't go to jail.
yeah,
Rich people, a lot of rich people don't go to jail and prison.
he's talking about like the everyday. Well, you know that he's
Yeah,
talking about like,
well, there's people that get away with stuff and people that don't. There's I was watching no, you can't say that. I was watching 48 first 48. They don't even solve half their crimes. People get away with murder all the time.
yeah.
People get away with murder all the crimes happen every day. You have in New York, we have this app that tells you what's the name of that app that tells you all the crimes that happen every 5 minutes. There's an app.
Yeah,
you know what I'm talking about?
No, I didn't know about this app.
There's an app. I'm gonna find it. I'm gonna give it to you. But by the time we have the next show, you're gonna have.
All right.
There's an app. I can see a crime every 5 minutes. They ain't half of them. Most of them not even solved. Lady got robbed down the block. Somebody got robbed every 5 minutes.
That's wild.
Yeah, you'd be surprised how much crime goes unsolved around here.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, it's New York City. I mean, it's got
anywhere. Look at Atlanta. Look, people breaking your car for breakfast. Yo, people.
Yeah, that's true.
That is regular. You come out your cars.
That's the worst place to have a car because Atlanta, they would vandalize your whip just cause.
Man.
So
people commit crimes for breakfast out there. Atlanta's lawlessness, man. You come out, you have to adjust yourself to thinking. When you come out, you have to assume your window broke.
Yeah. Unless you got like private property.
Yeah, they coming in your driveway doing it too, depending where you live at.
Yeah. That's what I say. It depends on where you live. It depends. On certain communities, you just don't go in certain communities in the area around that Atlanta area to vandalize. But majority of the community.
Patrick Torres, let me ask you a question. Was you ever incarcerated at Rikers?
A lot of innocent people sitting at Rikers right now.
Because Ashley, you know this as a fact. I can attest to that, right?
Yeah.
90, I don't want to start no stuff. 90% of Rikers is guilty. 90%. And I want to say 95. 90% of people who got locked up in Rikers did something.
They did something. They definitely did.
That's a fact. I don't want to bust your bubble. People are under the conception. No, innocent people do not be going to Rikers. No, they all did something.
They did. They may
yes,
not.
They did.
They may not exactly go for the crime that they going for, but they did something.
Man, I worked in there for over 20 years.
I know that for a fact.
I've never met an innocent person in my 20 years. I never met nobody that didn't do the crime. Never. Mm-hmm. And I met thousands of people.
Yeah. Yeah. That's wild. That's why I was at a convenience store with a magazine showing locals crimes. A lot of them were my customers. Really wow.
You were working at a convenience store with the magazine showing local crime. Yeah,
that's wild, man.
Yeah,
that's wild.
Nah,
it's a wild thing. Like I said, man. I just think that by and large, but I get the point that Patrick Torres is saying. I definitely get the point, but certain places is like, yo, being in New York City, being in Brooklyn, it's a lot that and I gotta be honest. When you go to Rikers, I mean, dog, you done did something, bro. Like, so you know, it's one thing to be in bookings.
Mm-hmm.
to be in a holding cell.
Right.
But it's a completely different thing in New York City by yourself to go to
Right.
Rikers, bro. Like that,
Right.
you go to
Right.
Rikers, that means you done got caught up in some shit. So and
You committed a misdemeanor or a felony. You
and be
did one of the two.
and being guilty
Yeah.
out of association as well, because some people could be innocent of a crime, right?
Mm-hmm.
They know somebody and they was with somebody and they
Mm-hmm.
caught up in the sweep and this, that, and the third, right? But
Mm-hmm.
some of those people go home earlier because their jacket, there's nothing on their jacket, but that's very
Mm-hmm.
few and far in between. That's not a
Mm-hmm.
regular occurrence.
Mm-hmm. And Torres, you are wrong. You said no one is above the law. The president is above the law. He cannot be caught. The president is above the law. He cannot go to jail.
My point is, Hunter should have done some time.
I
I get
mean,
that point. I get that point, but again, at the end of the day, right? If that was your son and you had
mhm,
to take him out, would you take him out? Now, if you wouldn't take him out personally, I could respect that too. It's like
mhm,
you did the crime, now you got to do the time. But if that's your son and you got
mhm.
power to get him out, would you let him out? That's my question.
And, and Torres, my biggest point is don't be invested in that because he's not. Like it, my opinion, yeah, I feel like everybody should be held accountable for their actions. I agree with you, but he's not. You understand? Do I so you either gonna care or you not gonna care. You know what I'm saying? Like at the end of the day, what could we do about it? You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
I
Hmm.
agree with you. Everybody should be held accountable, but guess what? God's gonna be the judge today.
Hmm. And I think that's the most high to me. That God is the most high. A lot of
Yeah.
people like to play the role of God. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So and I agree. I agree with your point. But my question to you is what Jokey and myself is saying is that if that was your son, would you leave your son in jail or would you say, nah, you did the crime, you're gonna do the time? If you would,
Mm-hmm.
so that's my question to you, Patrick. So he can go to jail if the law he breaks is not within the commission of his presidency duties. A Supreme Court just decided that a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, but at the same time, he's not. This dude has Donald Trump in it, and I'm not even accusing him of anything because this is alleged, right? But
Right, right.
he's accused of different crimes in
Yeah,
different states,
yeah.
and he hasn't done a day in jail. You
30.
understand? So now you want this man to throw his son in jail when the seat president right now ducked and dodged at least 40, 50 charges in different states. I mean, I don't think he gonna lose no sleep over his decision.
Hmm. Hmm.
I mean, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. That's the type of lane we living in right now, you know.
That always a funny quote to me. All right, y'all. Moving
Mhm.
to our next hot topic: college football ash picks is in. College football ash picks is in. So the 5 games that I called. Uh, four out of 5, and mind you, I pick difficult games. I don't pick the little ticky tack games. I pick difficult games that people could bet on and make some money. If you use my picks, you made yourself some money this week. All right, so first game that I called, number 15, South Carolina played number 12 Clemson. I said South Carolina will win that game. They won that game. South Carolina won. Second game I called was number 3 Texas playing number 20 Texas A&M. I said Texas will win. Texas won. Number 24 Kansas played. I'm sorry, 24 Kansas State played number 18 Iowa State. I said Kansas State will win. They lost by a touchdown. I said number 4 Michigan. I'm sorry. I said Michigan, unranked Michigan would beat number 2 in the country, Ohio State. And we put belt to ass. Michigan beat the number 2 team in the country that have all the talent in the world. That went out and got a $20 million team. Supposedly a great offensive coordinator, and we had nothing. Well, I don't want to say we had heart on our team, and we bust that ass. So, um, Oklahoma State played number 25 Colorado. I said Colorado win that game. Colorado won that game, so it was 4-1. So those are your college football ash picks for the week. I'm gonna have the new college football ash picks for the very next episode. So appreciate that. Was gifted. Appreciate adorable. Appreciate you for the gifted. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Thank you. Appreciate that. Rowan Jack. Appreciate that.
I guess and Ronan, because Ronan with the super chat too did this.
Yeah.
But somebody said he hasn't done a day because the state charges were a result of lawfare. I mean, I understand what you're saying, but let me ask you a question. You think he's going to do time? And answer that in the comment. Do you really, in your heart, believe he's going to do time?
That's
You know
going
what I'm saying? He's not. So let Joe Biden get his son and do it, live his life, and go. You know what I'm saying? Let everything just go forward, man.
And again, shout out Rowan Jack for the gifted as
Yeah.
appreciate you as always, sincerely. If you let me choose who gives a membership. Okay. That's
Mhm.
that's dope. Yeah. All right, y'all. Moving on to our next segment, our Keep the Lie Live segment. Uh, for this Keep the Lie Live segment, I was going to wait to the end of the show because we're running out of time. So I'm gonna keep it short and quick, y'all. Based on what we talked about all night, I want to give like a little veer to I want to just kind of like land this plane um with everything that was said tonight. So my keep the lie alive for this episode is do your research, y'all.
Mhm.
Research.
Mhm.
Hearing out from something is not wrong, right? Because it makes
Mhm.
you aware of something. But doing
Mhm.
research and crossing your I's and dotting your T's, that's a benefit to something that could benefit you, not just your mind,
Mhm.
but to your everyday life. So
Mhm.
go ahead and do the research, not just Google something. Do the research behind it. Like I Googled this. Let me look
Mhm.
more in depth on why this is the way it is. Whether that's
Mhm.
politics, whether that's in sports, whether
Mhm.
our daily finances.
Mhm.
Do the research because it only benefits you. Because
And can I say one more thing too? I don't think a lot of people are not wrong either. We're in America. People have different interests. Just like there's people that are like, for instance, gay rights, right? Them people fight hard for those rights.
Mhm.
That's that was a big reason too why a lot of liberals lost the election, because a lot of people felt religiously conflicted with siding with that, because even now with today's activism is side by side
Yeah,
with
yeah,
gay rights
yeah,
instead of being you attached to that, so you stuck with that, like you have both, like, you understand. So
yeah,
people got different agendas, people have different interests, people have different, you know what I'm saying.
yeah,
So people are fighting for what they want to fight for.
yeah,
just,
yeah,
just because you fighting for something and I fight, you don't have to be enemies. I want something, you probably don't want that. You want something, I probably don't want that. That's how I look at it. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? I don't take this stuff that personal like that.
yeah,
You know what I'm saying? And
and,
yeah, TikTok is not research,
yeah.
right? Trust it. But guess what? There's gonna come a time where there's not gonna be no trusted sources. Like I see, like even the way CNN played that funny game, like I could see people eliminating the news. News is gonna be a thing of the past. I see that already.
But see, that goes to my point of why doing your own research is very important.
Mhm.
Thing is very important because even your sources have ulterior motive, have agenda.
Mhm.
I was having
Mhm.
a conversation,
Mhm.
someone previously about something else about doing research, and they would I don't want to say they questioned my research, but they wanted to know the thing that something was called that I was talking about, but it didn't change the effect of what I was talking about. It's something that
Mhm.
you, regardless of what it's called, it doesn't matter what it's called
Mhm.
in particular. You could research what it's called in particular. You just know that this financial thing or this, you know,
Mhm.
this food or this politic or this whatever that it is not good for you. That's just the bottom line, and you
Mhm.
do what you want with that, but and
Mhm.
not unlearn something.
Mhm.
Point that I'm making when I say
Mhm.
do y'all research. Just
Mhm.
Google. Just don't hit TikTok. Do your research. And that's my keep the lie live for this episode.
You ain't give us credit for last week. Everything we said came true. With Diddy, with Diddy, the Southern District.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Thank you guys. Good chat tonight.
Yeah. Well, it was. Thanks for and come every week. Come next week. We engage next week.
Yes, absolutely. And tell a friend when you come through. Also share it with your friend. We got tons of videos in the rewatch. Again, I'm about to automatically go off, so I need to speed up the ending of the show. Again, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. A quick shout out to our sponsors of the show, Bravo Section, Button Snaps, OUV Records. If you're interested in becoming one of the sponsors of the show, hit me up on Instagram at Ashley Lovechild. Also, be aware and tune in to the Overstand podcast every Monday at 9:30. Why understand when you can overstand every Monday at 9:30? Also, this podcast, Can the Brothers Get a Rap podcast, is on every Thursday and every Sunday at 10:30 p.m. Make sure you tap into the rewatch. We got over 230 video clips of this podcast alone, y'all. Of this podcast alone. That's huge, y'all. You could go rewatch, comment on the videos, like, share, subscribe, hit that all notification bell. You just never know when we're gonna pop up and give y'all this love, give y'all this information. Y'all give us some information. It's an exchange. All right. Also be on the lookout. I'm working on my new EP, Summer of '08. So be on the lookout for that. In between time on any music platform, look up Ashley Lovechild. You can listen to some of my fire music. Not some, I got a lot of fire music. I'm just being modest, y'all. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, he does. Yes, he does.
Please tap into this, brother. Let them know where they can find you, my brother.
Jokey ENT at Instagram, or you can Keith Griffin on Facebook. You can hit me Facebook too. We have a lot of intellectual conversations there too.
Yes, please tap into my brother. I'm telling you, intellectual conversations, all fire, and he's one of the best producers in the game. Stop playing on his name, y'all. Stop playing. So make sure, again, y'all tap in this Thursday and next Sunday at 10:30. Again, the Overstand podcast. Y'all already know it's love, and we see y'all next time. We out.
All right.